Good evening. This is our Western edition. I'm Jeff Glor, reporting tonight from Washington National Cathedral in our nation's capital, where today the life of George Herbert Walker Bush was celebrated at a state funeral overflowing with emotion. The 41st president died Friday at 94. Today's service brought together all 5 living presidents, including Mr. Bush's first son, George W. The 43rd president was overcome at the end of his eulogy, while also remembering his late mother and sister, who died when she was 3. This evening, the plane carrying Mr. Bush's casket arrived in his adopted hometown of Houston. Family and friends will attend a private funeral service tomorrow. We begin with a look back at a day already etched in American history. Thousands line the streets to pay their respects to the nation's 41st president. George W. Bush, the son and 43rd president, waved in thanks as his father's procession passed the White House a final time, slowing en route to Washington National Cathedral. Inside, thousands of mourners that included dignitaries, foreign and domestic, past and present.
We received the body of our brother George for burial.
All living U.S. presidents gathered for the state funeral. Upon their arrival, President Trump and First Lady Melania greeted the Obamas. The Trumps and Clintons did not shake hands. Finally, the Bushes. Former President Bush provided a light moment with former First Lady Michelle Obama by giving her a mint. The service itself was a mix of the somber and the celebratory. Former Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney remembered his good friend with an old poem.
There are wooden ships, there are sailing ships, there are ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may they always be.
John Meacham is Mr. Bush's biographer.
George Herbert Walker Bush was America's last great soldier statesman, a 20th century founding father.
In the long and honored history of America, there are names that shine like beacons in the night.
Alan Simpson, the former Wyoming senator, praised Mr. Bush as a humble man.
Those who travel the high road of humility in Washington, D.C. are not bothered by heavy traffic.
And finally, George W., the son who earlier this year helped bury his mother, Barbara, said his goodbye.
Last Friday, when I was told he had minutes to live, I called him. The guy answered the phone, said I think he can hear you, but he hadn't said anything for most of the day. I said, Dad, I love you and you've been a wonderful father. And the last words he would ever say on earth were, I love you too. A great and noble man, the best father a son or daughter could have. And in our grief, let us smile knowing that Dad is hugging Robin and holding Mom's hand again.
The last full measure of devotion, he gave himself to serve the greater needs.
Receive George into the arms of your mercy, into the blessed rest of everlasting peace.
Never before has one president eulogized another who was his father. In 1826, President John Quincy Adams did not learn that his father, John Adams, the second president, had died until after he'd been buried.